Hey, what's up everyone? Mendel here. I hope you are all doing awesome and wonderful. So STL Tones released a new expansion for the ControlHub plugin, the Tracer expansion. Now hear me out. This is not any normal expansion like they've released in past year or years. Now with this Tracer expansion, you can capture your own signal chain or your own mixing chain, both plugins and hardware, or combined. Let's put it to the test. Here we go. Alright, so here we are in a mixing session of mine of a new song I'm working on, very inspired by a certain band, but you'll hear it in a second. And I thought it would be a cool song for this Tracer expansion in the ControlHub. Let's first listen to a bit of music and then we'll dive more into the plugin because this is pretty cool. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so you get the idea, like heavy stadium rock kind of vibe. So let's get to the good stuff. So here we have ControlHub, and over here you see like Tracer. So basically how this works is this. So with this feature now, or with this expansion, like I said in the intro, you can basically capture your whole signal chain, like mixing signal chain, like the compression and EQ and stuff. So for an example, on this chain, this is the shells bus. This is just a kick drum, snare, and the toms of the drum kit. This is basically my bus compressor that I have over here with some API EQ, some brightening around 5 kilohertz. And besides that, also a bit of cleanup with Pro Q3. And then the process is, so you can choose a complete signal chain or just a compressor. So this is the bus compressor and EQ, so I do complete signal chain. Then you locate the file, then you have this tracer file, which I already loaded up here, which sounds like some sort of weird alien invasion, with a bunch of different weird stuff going on. It's a pretty long file, and that's the signal you use to run through your strip, whether it be plugins or like this hardware bus compressor here, or both. And then you export that. So when you exported that, then you can press import. For an example, let's say we do this Autoscape bus comp, then analyze the signal. It wasn't loud enough, or it wasn't too loud, I mean, so the levels are good. Then proceed, and then you go to trace stereo, and then it basically does its magic with AI, I think, or some advanced algorithms, basically copying your entire signal chain into one preset in ControlHub. And then when it's done, you can save it under a certain name, and that's that. And besides that, you have Tonex chains, where basically it will probably be a whole community, people capturing their own compressors or hardware EQs or entire signal chains, and then share them together to into the world, so you can like download them or make them your favorite. I think this will be a cool community. But how close does it actually get? Now let's compare that. So again, I have my bus compressor here with a fair amount of compression. Let's see how much I got. So over here it's doing, let's see. That's about 8 decibels, right? All right, so this is just the shells bus dry. This is with the bus compressor. This is with the UAD API EQ added. Just adding a tiny bit of top end. And this is Pro Q3 added. There's a tiny bit of cleanup. So before and after. make it a bit bigger. All right, so this is the hardware and the plugins. And this is just ControlHub after capturing this chain. To my ears, it seems the ControlHub is a tiny bit darker on this capture, just a tiny bit. Perhaps that can be fixed with just a lift over here. I mean, to my ears, that's really close. I do hear more of a difference on the kick, but I wouldn't say one is better than the other. But to be honest, with some tweaking, I think you could get like really, really, really close. So now let's check the difference in the mix. I mean, that's, to be honest, good enough for me. If I can have my entire chain in one plugin and I can use it on different things later on, I mean, that's a great solution. Okay, so now let's go to the guitars. And spoiler alert about the guitars, it has been running on ControlHub this entire time. Let me just turn it off and see what I first on the guitar. So this is just the guitars, or these are just the guitars by themselves. So then I added some SLQ to like really thicken them up and add some lower mids. To add some weight. Then I added some Pro Q3. Like to clean up some nasty frequencies. Add a tiny bit of top end. And then I added one of my favorite plugins. It's called Clariphonic. Really cool plugin. Which really brings the guitars more forward. So all those plugins off and on. Now, of course, there's a volume difference, but hopefully you can hear it really makes the guitars thicker. So now, while we're still on the guitars soloed, let's check out how close ControlHub is. So again, this is just the plugins. To my ears at least, that's super close. If this is the entire plugin chain, if this is that whole chain captured and now just on ControlHub, good enough for me. Good enough for me. In the mix, mean, I doubt personally if I would be able to tell which one would be ControlHub or which one would be the actual chains in a blind test. So that's very accurate. Now, another cool thing I noticed by doing this. So over here I have ControlHub on the master bus. So the cool thing about this is I can capture my bus compressor either by itself or with some extra EQ. So for example here, I'm just using this drum bus preset, which sounds nice on the master bus as well. So let's take a listen for that. But now I can use the mix knob to, for example, do some parallel compression on the master bus. So there you have it, the final verdict. In my opinion, this is a very cool thing actually. For example, if I'm mixing and I have a certain plugin chain which I really like, I could basically capture that entire chain and then even manipulate it further down the road with some parallel stuff like the stuff you can do over here. I mean, how cool is that? So make sure you check it out. The Tracer expansion for STL ControlHub for STL ControlHub. I'll put the link in the description box down below. So make sure you check it out. And thanks for watching. Cheers.